Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins enter the 2025 NFL season under a cloud of national skepticism, and the power rankings heading into Week 1 make that skepticism painfully clear. Across 9 major outlets, including Sports Illustrated, Pro Football Talk, CBS Sports, NFL.com, The Athletic, ESPN, The Ringer, USA Today, and The Sporting News, Miami averages an alarming 25.4 in league rankings, placing them far outside the expected playoff conversation. Analysts point to a combination of injury concerns, roster turnover, and a defense that, while promising last season, now faces significant questions about depth and consistency. The narrative surrounding the Dolphins is that of a team with star talent, particularly in the passing game with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but one that may struggle to fully integrate these stars under a system that requires precision and health. Fans are hopeful, yet national observers remain hesitant to place Miami among true contenders this season. Sports Illustrated's assessment underscores the uncertainty surrounding Miami's roster. Placing the Dolphins at 28th, SI admits they don't have a grip on the team, citing injuries to Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane as critical factors. Even with a star-studded offense, questions loom over quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's durability and consistency, adding pressure to defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver to replicate the team's late-season defensive surge from 2024. SI's analysis emphasizes that while Miami boasts offensive firepower with Hill, Waddle, and the innovative play calling of Mike McDaniel, the realities of the NFL are harsh and unforgiving, especially for teams carrying injury baggage. Weaver's ability to maintain a top 10 defense will be pivotal if Miami hopes to compete for playoff positioning. Despite the talent on paper, the team faces skepticism about whether it can translate potential into sustained wins, a theme repeated throughout every national ranking. Pro Football Talk delivers an even bleaker perspective, ranking the Dolphins 29th in their Week 1 roundup. Their analysis focuses sharply on Tyreek Hill, suggesting he might be the league's equivalent of a high-risk, high-reward star, akin to Davante Adams. This comparison highlights concerns about Miami's reliance on individual performances rather than a fully balanced team effort. PFT's ranking reflects the uncertainty surrounding not just Hill, but the supporting cast, particularly with injuries impacting key positions. The offensive line, secondary, and depth chart all carry warning signs, meaning that even if Miami's passing game is dynamic, inconsistencies could sabotage momentum in critical games. PFT's stark view signals national doubt about Miami's ability to maintain competitiveness over a 17-game schedule, showing that beyond the obvious superstar talent, systemic and roster fragilities remain a significant concern for analysts evaluating the Dolphins' playoff chances. CBS Sports offers a slightly more tempered perspective, slotting Miami at 25th and acknowledging that the offense still holds promise. Their focus, however, centers on the secondary, highlighting lingering defensive questions that could prevent the Dolphins from translating offensive success into victories. CBS underscores that Mike McDaniel's role as head coach is under scrutiny, and this season will test his capacity to manage both personnel challenges and in-game strategy. While the offense retains explosive potential with Tua, Hill, and Waddle, defensive lapses could derail the team, particularly against high-powered opponents. CBS's commentary mirrors a recurring theme. Miami's performance will hinge on a delicate balance between offensive production, defensive reliability, and effective coaching. The narrative is that while talent exists, translating it into consistent wins remains a major question mark. NFL.com positions the Dolphins slightly higher at 24th, offering a cautiously optimistic take while emphasizing the pressure on the coaching staff and players. Their analysis notes a correction from earlier in the preseason, acknowledging that finishing ahead of the Patriots would not be surprising if Tua remains healthy and the offense clicks. However, NFL.com stresses that roster turnover and departures of key contributors from previous seasons have left Miami with fewer proven leaders, forcing the team to rely heavily on emerging talent. The variability in performance is expected, with weeks of contender-level play potentially followed by struggles against lesser opponents. Despite these risks, a favorable schedule and strong offensive execution could allow the Dolphins to defy national expectations, though the margin for error remains razor-thin. The Ringer ranks Miami 27th, reflecting a mix of excitement and caution in its analysis. The outlet praises McDaniel's offensive system and the speed and versatility of players like Hill, Waddle, and Devon Achane, noting that the Dolphins have a rare combination of athleticism and offensive creativity. Yet, defensive concerns linger, particularly with aging secondary pieces and the absence of a direct replacement for Christian Wilkins. Ringer highlights that Miami's decision to draft pass rushers is a strategic move but does not fully mitigate defensive risks. The overall message is clear. The Dolphins are capable of dazzling performances but remain fragile, with the potential to underperform in critical moments. Analysts suggest that national observers are reluctant to place full faith in Miami, given both roster uncertainty and the unpredictable nature of early season performance in the NFL. USA Today aligns closely with the national consensus, ranking the Dolphins 28th and stressing the internal challenges facing the team. The outlet emphasizes the impact of summer injuries and lingering questions about organizational stability, suggesting that even a typically fast-starting McDaniel-led team may struggle to establish rhythm. These internal dynamics, combined with roster turnover and reliance on key players, cast a long shadow over Miami's playoff aspirations. USA Today paints a picture of a team in transition, with talent present but cohesion uncertain. Nationally, this skepticism reinforces the perception that Miami's path to the postseason will be a difficult one, requiring not just talent but resilience, depth, and consistent execution in high-pressure situations against both strong and middling opponents in the league. The Sporting News also reflects concern, placing Miami 27th and emphasizing the importance of early season performance. According to their analysis, victories against the Colts and other initial opponents are critical for McDaniel to avoid being under pressure as the season progresses. Early losses could exacerbate existing doubts about offensive effectiveness and overall team cohesion, intensifying scrutiny on coaching decisions. Sporting News signals that Miami's margin for error is minimal, with national rankings already expressing doubt about their competitive viability. In this context, the Dolphins' ability to navigate Week 1 and subsequent early games will shape not just perceptions but tangible outcomes, potentially determining whether they maintain playoff contention or struggle to regain momentum. The Athletic provides a rare positive outlier, ranking Miami 19th and highlighting potential upside in key players. Their analysis notes Tyreek Hill's improved understanding of the offense and Devon Achane's expected readiness, suggesting that Miami could see notable production from its skill positions. The outlet also highlights rookie contributions as a factor that could offset some uncertainty elsewhere on the roster. Athletic's commentary contrasts sharply with other outlets, reflecting a belief that if health and execution align, the Dolphins may outperform expectations. This analysis captures the tension between cautious national skepticism and the internal optimism surrounding Miami's coaching staff and players, illustrating the divergent perspectives shaping public perception ahead of the 2025 season. ESPN rounds out the national perspective, ranking Miami 22nd and emphasizing that this season is a career-defining moment for McDaniel. Their analysis focuses on the team's offensive upside juxtaposed with defensive instability, including an inexperienced secondary and injury-prone pass rushers. ESPN suggests that while the Dolphins have explosive potential, the combination of inexperience, injuries, and roster turnover creates a volatile situation where results could swing dramatically from week to week. Their ranking reflects a consensus that Miami is talented but fragile, with success contingent on health, development, and strategic execution. Across outlets, the theme is clear. The Dolphins are viewed as a team teetering between potential and peril, requiring both luck and skill to translate capability into playoff-level success. Finally, comparing Miami to their Week 1 opponent, the Indianapolis Colts, provides additional context for the challenge ahead. The Colts carry an average ranking of 25.9, slightly worse than the Dolphins, but rankings hide the subtleties of matchups, health, and early season momentum. Analysts note that Miami cannot rely solely on offensive firepower to secure victories. defensive lapses, or inconsistent execution could negate any advantage. The Week 1 game against Indianapolis is therefore a microcosm of Miami's broader season narrative, a team with tantalizing potential that must navigate uncertainty, injuries, and skepticism to achieve meaningful results. Observers agree that early season outcomes will influence both national perception and the trajectory of the Dolphins' 2025 campaign. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Hold on to your seats, sports fans, because the rumor mill is spinning faster than ever today, and it involves one of the NFL's brightest stars. Sources close to team insiders are whispering about a move that could shake the league to its core. Justin Jefferson, the sensational wide receiver who has been redefining what it means to dominate on the gridiron, is reportedly on the verge of heading to Miami. Imagine the Dolphins' attack with Jefferson as the centerpiece, a weapon so precise and explosive that defenses may find themselves completely outmatched on every single down. While nothing is officially confirmed yet, the chatter around league circles has intensified, with insiders claiming that Jefferson's representatives and Miami executives have already been in advanced talks, hammering out the details of a deal that could change the dynamics of the AFC and make the Dolphins' offense an unstoppable force in the coming seasons. The prospect of Jefferson in Miami has fans and analysts alike buzzing with excitement, as it would pair one of the league's most prolific passers with a receiver who seems almost untouchable in open space. Imagine the chemistry forming in training camp, the anticipation of game days where defenses will have no choice but to adjust schemes entirely around containing Jefferson. Sources suggest that the Dolphins are preparing a strategic plan to fully exploit Jefferson's ability to make contested catches, stretch the field vertically, and dominate in critical third-down situations. Coaches and executives are reportedly mapping out plays that maximize his unique skill set, creating an offense that could be nearly impossible to stop. This potential acquisition isn't just a roster upgrade. It's a statement of intent, signaling that Miami is ready to compete at the highest level and challenge for a championship with renewed ferocity. Rumors indicate that the financial aspects of the deal are substantial, with Miami prepared to offer a package that reflects Jefferson's elite status in the league. Negotiations are said to include not only a significant salary, but also performance incentives, endorsements, and strategic bonuses designed to ensure the receiver remains motivated and fully committed to the Dolphins' vision. The market for a player of Jefferson's caliber is intense, and insiders hint that Miami's front office has been working tirelessly to outmaneuver other suitors who have been circling the star wideout. Every call, meeting, and whisper in league offices is reportedly contributing to an atmosphere of anticipation, with fans speculating about how this move could redefine the power balance in the AFC and establish the Dolphins as a dominant offensive powerhouse. The excitement doesn't stop at the financial and tactical aspects. There's also the cultural impact that Jefferson could bring to Miami. Sources suggest that his presence would elevate the franchise's profile both locally and nationally, creating a surge of fan engagement, merchandise sales, and social media buzz that could rival any other league headline. Dolphins supporters are already envisioning game nights filled with highlight reel receptions, stadium eruptions, and a renewed sense of pride as Jefferson takes the field in aqua and orange. Even rival teams are reportedly paying attention, recognizing that adding a player of this magnitude would force a reassessment of defensive strategies, draft priorities, and long-term roster building across the league. The chatter alone has been enough to dominate sports talk shows and online forums, with analysts speculating endlessly on the potential transformation. League insiders hint that Jefferson's move could also have ripple effects throughout the NFL's broader free agency market. Teams in desperate need of receivers may shift strategies, while quarterbacks currently seeking elite pass catchers could find themselves in bidding wars triggered by this one headline-grabbing rumor. Analysts are suggesting that Jefferson in Miami could spark a domino effect, influencing trades, contract negotiations, and even coaching decisions around the league. Every team is reportedly examining their offensive plans with a heightened awareness that Miami could suddenly possess one of the most dangerous passing games in history. The potential synergy between Jefferson and the Dolphins' existing offensive weapons could make the team a nightmare matchup for any opponent, creating storylines that will dominate sports media for months to come. Even though nothing is officially signed, the urgency in Miami's front office is reportedly palpable, with executives working long hours to finalize terms before other teams have a chance to intervene. Rumors indicate that personal meetings between Jefferson, his family, and Dolphins leadership have been intense, discussing not just football, but the community, lifestyle, and future plans that could make Miami a perfect fit. Insiders claim that Jefferson is intrigued by the idea of being a franchise-changing figure in Miami, someone who can leave a legacy and redefine what success looks like for the team. The storylines surrounding his potential arrival extend beyond the field, encompassing leadership, mentorship for younger players, and even marketing opportunities that would benefit both the player and the franchise. Speculation has also focused on how Jefferson's arrival would transform Miami's offensive identity. Coaches are said to be considering formations and playbooks that center around his unique ability to stretch the field and create mismatches in coverage. Rumors hint at increased involvement in red zone schemes, jet sweeps, and deep vertical threats designed to exploit Jefferson's speed, agility, and unparalleled route-running precision. Analysts are theorizing that pairing Jefferson with Miami's current offensive talent could result in an unprecedented level of production, pushing the team toward elite statistics and record-breaking performances. Fans are already envisioning highlight reels, clutch catches, and a potential playoff run driven by a revitalized, unstoppable Dolphins attack. Word on the street suggests that locker room dynamics are also a consideration in Jefferson's potential Miami move. Sources whisper that team leaders are excited about the prospect of welcoming such a competitive and charismatic figure into their ranks. Jefferson's reputed work ethic, focus, and leadership qualities reportedly align with the Dolphins' current team culture, providing an infusion of talent that could elevate everyone around him. Rumors indicate that this synergy is a key factor in the ongoing discussions, as executives believe that the right environment will allow Jefferson to thrive while inspiring teammates to reach higher levels of performance. The buzz surrounding this potential acquisition has sparked conversations across sports media, highlighting its significance beyond the numbers on a contract or stat sheet. Off-field implications are also reportedly part of the discussions, with Miami aware of Jefferson's potential influence on branding, community involvement, and league-wide recognition. Sources suggest that marketing executives see a huge opportunity to capitalize on Jefferson's charisma and star power, creating campaigns that draw national attention and elevate the Dolphins' profile to new heights. Rumors indicate that endorsements, public appearances, and media projects could become integral parts of Jefferson's Miami story, making him not only an on-field superstar, but also a cultural icon associated with the franchise. Fans are already imagining the impact of a star of Jefferson's magnitude on ticket sales, social engagement, and the team's visibility around the country and internationally. The speculation has reached a fever pitch, with sports media outlets dissecting every possible angle of Jefferson's rumored Miami move. Analysts are predicting changes to draft strategies, free agent priorities, and even defensive approaches across the league, as opponents prepare for the prospect of facing a Dolphins offense that could redefine what it means to be dominant in the modern NFL. The chatter is persistent, with unnamed sources fueling endless debates about timing, contract terms, and how Jefferson will adapt to a new system. Every rumor adds layers of intrigue, creating a narrative that feels both explosive and inevitable, capturing the imagination of fans who are already visualizing Jefferson's electrifying catches and game-changing plays in Miami colors. Finally, while the official confirmation has yet to arrive, the buzz surrounding Justin Jefferson's potential arrival in Miami has become impossible to ignore. Rumors suggest that if finalized, this move could mark a turning point for the Dolphins, transforming their offensive strategy and making them a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. Fans are eagerly imagining what the season could look like with Jefferson as the centerpiece, while analysts continue to dissect every potential scenario, from playoff implications to record-breaking performances. The speculation alone has energized the NFL conversation, promising months of debate, excitement, and anticipation as everyone waits to see if the whispers become reality and Miami finally secures one of the league's most electrifying talents. The atmosphere in Miami is reportedly electric, with insiders claiming that ticket sales, fan engagement, and local media coverage are all skyrocketing as the rumor of Jefferson's arrival circulates. Dolphins supporters are already planning for the season ahead, imagining how Jefferson's presence could turn regular matchups into must-watch events filled with highlight catches and game-changing plays. Sources hint at strategic planning sessions within the organization, considering marketing, community outreach, and fan experience enhancements tied to the potential acquisition. The buzz surrounding Justin Jefferson has transcended mere speculation, becoming a full-blown cultural phenomenon that has NFL fans across the country and even globally talking about the Dolphins as a team that could redefine offensive excellence and inject unparalleled excitement into the league's narrative for years to come. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.